Second thing, endless genealogies. You'll notice within those myths and fables and within the pantheon of gods and goddesses in the Greco-Roman world, there are so many complicated genealogy charts of who belongs to who. That's in the Gentile side. You've also got endless genealogies in the Jewish Christian side, where they will spend lots of time, and rightly so, paying attention to their family history. And some would look at us today as members of the church and say, well, you're getting caught up in endless genealogies. You have family history centers all over the world, and you spend all this time looking to your genealogy. Can you see a huge difference between what they're doing with it and what the Lord is having us do with family history? Think of the experience with John the Baptist baptizing at the River Jordan. And remember, the Pharisees came down and they're kind of looking down their nose at these people who are being baptized by John and saying, well, we don't need that because we have Abraham for our father. And they've got their genealogy pedigree chart memorized. And they can say, see, we're good because of who our ancestors are.
Yeah, it's almost as if we're doing genealogy to prove that we are awesome versus becoming awesome by doing your genealogy.
See, that's exactly right. The point is, if we're not careful, we'll do our genealogy to try to get something from our ancestors. And I think that's what's going on here. It's to show preeminence. It's to show dominance. Well, who was your grandpa? My grandpa was so-and-so, and he was really important. And so it somehow, it fuels pride. It makes me puffed up. It makes me somehow as if I'm better than you because of something my grandpa did compared to what your grandpas did. That it's twisted. Now, think about this. Why do we spend so much time doing genealogical research, family history work, trying to learn the stories of our ancestors and what they went through? Is it to get something from them? Is it to build up our pride? Or are we doing genealogy work? Do we have so many people across the world spending so many hours devoted to finding out the names and the dates and the places and the events and the stories of these people so that we can then go to the temples of our God and give something to them? Which directions are the arrows pointing in our genealogical work? Because it's been my experience to watch people doing family history and temple work as a Christ-like extension of God's love for all of His children, both living and dead. Those who have passed on need some things. And so isn't it fascinating when you don't have to bifurcate or separate these efforts, and you can say, wow, by turning the hearts of the children to the fathers, it also turns the hearts of the fathers to the children. We need them just as much as they need us, and we work together on both sides of the veil to gather Israel in this great latter-day effort that was reserved for our time. No other dispensation was given this responsibility to do this kind of work for that many people through all the other past dispensations. It's just beautiful to see how God is accelerating His work, performing incredible miracles in this effort, helping us to become more like Him as He's helping them also to become more like Him in the process.
And Paul makes this clear in verse 5. He says, now the end of the commandment, or meaning the purpose or the rationale for the commandment, is charity out of a pure heart and of a good conscience and of faith unfeigned. So you can imagine Paul has heard that sometimes in the ward meetings, people are debating things that are kind of meaningless or are of less importance than charity and faith unfeigned. And so he's saying, listen, spend your time in things that really matter. Ask questions of consequence that will drive more of God's love into people's lives.
It's powerful. And for those of you who have spent significant time in charitable ways doing family history and temple work, you have felt that spirit of Elijah, and it is so tangible, and it catches a hold of you at times so powerfully, so profoundly, that it is undeniable. And it's this power from not just from heaven, but from the other side of the veil, where these people become more real to you. And the charity, this pure heart, this pure intent, it grows and it decreases the pride, but it increases your appreciation for God and for these people. And remember, Alma 5, one of the questions that he asks so profoundly of the people there in Zarahemla, when he's trying to set the church in order, is, have you sufficiently retained in remembrance the captivity of your fathers? Do you not just know their name, not just know where they were born, but have you retained what their story is, what their struggles in life were, and how good God was to them, how much he delivered them? Because if you can see it there, you're going to be able to see now reflected in your own life how God is doing the same thing in your world, in your day. It's a powerful reminder to check our motives for why we're doing what we're doing and how we do them.